What the heck is FTX Crypto Exchange, and what does that have to do with gold going to $4,000 per ounce? I think it has a lot to do with it. Hey, look, I must have been living under a rock. I don't know about you, but I didn't really even know what the FTX Crypto Exchange is. The other big one, by the way, is Binance. We're going to dig in just a little bit in this video and learn what happened with this most recent crypto collapse, crypto winter, whatever you want to call it. This FTX company has basically gone belly up. It's fascinating, but what does that tell us about the future prospects for silver and gold? We'll look at things like 4,000 years versus maybe 4,000 days in the crypto world, and we'll see how gold and silver have always held their value. Now, the interesting thing will be to talk about what went on with this crypto company. It's important we know these things, right? Have at least a base knowledge. It's fascinating. We're going to talk about it right now. Here's your in-depth description of what's going on in the crypto world. It's a bunch of unicorn fart dust. There you have it. No, we'll dig just a little deeper. We're going to talk about this FTX and how it blew up over the last few weeks and few days. It was started by a gentleman named Sam Bankman-Fried. Fortune magazine had him on their cover not too long ago as the next Warren Buffett. He grew the company up into the billions of dollars. I think it was worth $32 billion at its peak. Now, this is a exchange, meaning they allowed people like you and me to trade the different cryptos back and forth amongst each other. And they made a little fee each time somebody traded something, not unlike a stock brokerage when they would charge a little commission when you bought or sold a stock. But it gets very, very interesting from here, because Mr. Bankman-Fried and FTX also had another division called Almedia. It was a market maker. This is where the real con job comes in. What the Almedia division would do is you would go to them with your new crypto. Like, let's say we made up a crypto and we called it Unicorn Fart Dust. We went to Almedia. They agreed to make a market for our UFD, Unicorn Fart Dust. They would start to kind of sell it off to hedge funds, wealthy investors, and tell them things like, hey, you got to get into UFD now. It's only 3 cents per coin, but when it goes out to the public, we think it's going to be more like 10 or 20 or maybe even 30. So they would create a market for this UFD crypto that we created. And after the market got kind of established and they'd probably sold it all off to their wealthy investors, they would then transfer it over to FTX. Remember, that's the exchange. That's where normal people like me and you have a chance to get in on the cryptos. And at that point, they would distribute a lot of these cryptos to the unknowing public. But where it really gets scammy is that FTX, remember that's the big exchange, they created their own token called FTT. And they gave it to their division, Almedia, who made a market for it and collected a lot of money, had it on their books as their main asset. Well, basically, people started to wake up to the fact that all this company had, FTX and Almedia, like a big part of the assets that they owned were these FTT, Unicorn Fart Dust, pardon the term, type tokens, and people started to want their money out of the company. It just created a big downward pressure on the FTT token, created a bunch of margin calls, just basically blew up the entire company. Binance, which is the other major exchange, was going to come in and save the day. But after they looked at the books, they said, on second thought, I think we're not going to do that. So it's just a big, giant mess. This guy, Sam Friedman, that started this company, he was the second largest donor to the Democratic Party. I saw that last night. He's lost billions of dollars. They said he was worth like 16 billion, I think, at one point. Now people are saying he's basically going to be broke. The company They'd spent $500 million on like sports advertising, like having their name on some arena down in Miami. I mean, it's just insane. So when we take a step back and look at the billions of dollars, the value that people were so desperate to put into these cryptocurrencies, and we think about silver and gold, isn't it just mind-numbing to think that silver and gold aren't valued much, much higher? I mean, they've been around 4,000 years. These cryptos, like I said earlier, maybe 4,000 days at the very, very most. Silver and gold are real. They are truly scarce. I always said about crypto, right? Like, oh, sure, you can say there's only so many Bitcoin, but there's an unlimited supply of other cryptocurrencies. Look, when I take a step back and look just in the last year, what's gone on in the crypto world, and if I want to preserve my value, if I want to preserve my wealth, we want to protect our families, right? Isn't that what we want to do? I think there's not any other option outside of silver and gold. Real silver and gold. And I happen to like precious metal mining stocks as well. But nonetheless, what this has taught us is also that exchanges can blow up, right? FTX is an exchange. It basically blew up. What about the LBMA, the London Bullion Marketers Association, and the COMEX? Those are the big exchanges where the silver and gold paper contracts, the unicorn fart dust of the precious metals world, that's where those contracts are traded, and those exchanges could blow up too. When that happens, the price of silver and gold will also blow up in a positive way. Hey, thanks for joining me here in Ron's Basement. If you enjoyed my video, please subscribe right here. You're always welcome here. I appreciate you joining me from wherever you are in the world. You're important, and it's important to me, and I honor the fact that you decide to spend some time with me. Until next time, you be well.